holidays, everyone, and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to be cooking from the Star Wars Holiday Cookbook, official holiday recipes from a galaxy far, far away. This is a brand new cookbook that just came out on November 9th. I've had a scan through it. I found some really good recipes, picked them out to share with you, and we're going to be starting off with one of the entree dishes for roasted root leaf. Now, again, while this is an entree dish, I think it would make a perfect side dish to any of your holiday meals. For Thanksgiving, which though I know this video is going up after Thanksgiving, it would still make a perfect addition to your Christmas or your New Year's Eve, New Year's Day festivities. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and go over our ingredients, starting with 1 whole head of cabbage, 1 medium onion that I've thinly sliced, roughly 8 ounces of white button mushrooms that I've cleaned and quartered, 2 medium carrots that I've peeled and diced, 3 tablespoons of brown sugar, 2 teaspoons of ground mustard, 1 teaspoon of sage, 1 teaspoon of thyme, 1 teaspoon of rosemary, half of a teaspoon of garlic powder, half of a teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper, as well as 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 tablespoons of orange juice, and 2 cups of vegetable stock. These are all of our ingredients, so let's get some of this stuff moved out of our way, and we will go ahead and start preparing our cabbage. For the cabbage, I've gone ahead and washed it and removed any of the outer leaves that I don't want. And I need this to sit flat on the bottom, but I have this little bit of core that's sticking out. So I'm just going to go ahead and trim that off. We want to trim it flat with the bottom of the cabbage so that it will sit flat in our cooking vessel. And then the next thing we're going to do is chop off a little bit of the top. What this is going to do is kind of open up those leaves for the basting liquid that we're going to be putting all over this here in a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and set that to the side. So now that we have the top and the tail off of it, what we're going to do is take a paring knife and start putting some random slits down into our head of cabbage. And this is just going to help that basting liquid kind of seep down into these little open sections and get some flavor into the center of our cabbage. I'm going to be sure to do this kind of all over in random different patches. Once you're satisfied with how many slits you've got in it, go ahead and grab a Dutch oven if you have one. And we are going to layer the bottom with our onion slices. I'm going to make sure you go in and spread those evenly across the bottom of your oven or your Dutch oven. And then we're going to go ahead and place in our cabbage. And I'm going to set this over to the side while we mix up our basting liquid. So in a small bowl, we're going to add in our orange juice and our olive oil, our brown sugar, and all of our spices. And you want to whisk these until they are thoroughly combined. Once you've got your basting liquid completely combined, all you're going to do is paint the outside of your cabbage head with about half of our basting liquid. Be sure to go up and down the sides, making sure you get full even coverage across the whole head of cabbage. Now that I have half of the basting liquid onto my head of cabbage, I'm going to go ahead and take my carrots and sprinkle them around the base of the cabbage, being sure to evenly distribute them all the way around. And the last thing, the next thing we're going to do is do the same thing with our mushrooms. Just sprinkle these all the way around your cabbage head. Now that I have all of my mushrooms in here, I'm going to go ahead and add in just 1 cup of the vegetable stock. Our cabbage is now ready to go into a 400-degree oven. All I'm going to do is cover it with a little bit of aluminum foil. Now that we have this covered, I'm going to go ahead and set my basting liquid and the rest of my vegetable stock over to the side. We'll be revisiting it a little bit later, but for now this is going into the oven on 400 degrees for 45 minutes. After 45 minutes, you're going to want to remove your pot from the stove and go ahead and apply the remainder of our basting liquid. Now that I've got all of that on, I'm going to go ahead and add in my last cup of vegetable stock. And this is going to go back in the oven covered with aluminum foil for an additional 45 minutes. The roasted root leaf is out of the oven. I've gone ahead and arranged it on a serving platter. I am going to be serving this family style. I've already gone ahead and taken out a little wedge of it to try. Let's see what we think about this. I will say it does smell incredible. I really get all the flavors of the holidays coming off this dish. Overall, I really like this dish. I like the flavors that are going on in here. There's just a little bit of sweetness from the brown sugar. Of course, the carrots are going to help boost that sweetness just a tiny bit, but it's not uber sweet. One thing I could have done different at that first 45-minute mark is kind of gone back in with my paring knife and kind of opened those top leaves just a little bit more before we applied our second batch of the basting liquid. It is tender all the way through the middle, with the middle still retaining just a little bit of a snap that I find very pleasant. Overall, I really enjoyed this dish, and I think it would be a great addition to your holiday table. If you guys would like to be a part of the Gamers and Geeks playlist, leave me a comment down below, and I'll be more than happy to tell you how you can be a part of that list. Speaking of the playlist, be sure to check out the link I provided down in the description box to the playlist, where we have over 350 amazing videos contributed by you, our friends and YouTube family. If y'all have enjoyed this video, leave me a comment down below. If you guys tried this recipe out, let me know how it turned out for you. And as always, thank y'all so very much for joining me today. I've been Vault Girl. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I hope I'll see you in the next one.